that's kind of bonkers. I'm kind of offended. What's up, guys? Welcome back. So today we are going to be doing a very exciting wear test. I'm not sure if you guys have seen this, but Hourglass just put out a new mascara, and it is called Unlocked Instant Extensions Mascara. And if that sounds familiar to you for some reason, it might be because it sounds really similar to Liquid Lash Extensions Mascara from Thrive Causemetics, which happens to be my favorite mascara of all time currently of anything I've ever used. The main commonality here besides the name is that these are both tubing mascaras. If you are unfamiliar with what a tubing mascara is, I'm gonna get into that and why it is so important to me to find a really, really good tubing mascara formula and why they are worth the money in my opinion. But today we're going to be wear testing them side by side all day, and I'm not only going to show you application and wear time, but also removal, because I think that that's really, really important if you're unfamiliar with the whole philosophy behind a tubing mascara. So this is a used one. I'm going to start with a new tube because they behave differently when they're brand new. They're a little thinner, and so I wanna make sure we're comparing apples to apples. So I'm gonna move you guys in. I will try and show you as much detail as I can of kind of the nuanced differences between these as they apply, and then I'm going to talk about each one and their claims before we jump into the wear test. So let's go ahead and jump in. Okie dokie. So this is actually a brand new tube that Thrive just sent me, and this is in the shade Bryn. My favorite shade is actually the new brown one, Crystal, but the Hourglass only comes in black to my knowledge, and so again, apples to apples. So the packaging in comparison, the Thrive is still a little bit heavier, but they are very, very similar. This is still heavy and feels very luxurious, the new Hourglass, but this has a weighted cap on it that just makes it so, I don't know, happy and heavy in your hands. So the importance of a tubing mascara is because I like to wear a lot of cream products on my eyes, and that is not conducive with wearing a non-waterproof mascara. However, I also don't like to rub my eyes when I'm removing my mascara, and so a waterproof mascara is also not ideal for me. So that is one coat of the Thrive, and it goes on really, really quickly. The biggest complaint that I've ever heard about it is that it is a formula that builds super quickly, and sometimes that gets ahead of people, you know? And so you can sometimes end up, as you're building the sort of lash extensions effect, kind of getting more on there than you wanted to, but I have never had a problem with that. Also, I have heard that it is a little heavier of a formula for people who have trouble keeping a curl in their lashes, and so that is why sometimes I will recommend a lighter weight formula. Mascara is very personal, but again, the reason that I go for this is because it is halfway in between a waterproof and a non-waterproof mascara. Basically, it forms a tube on your lashes that does not resolve in water. It also won't remove with eye makeup remover. It will only remove with warm water. And when you're in the shower or you're washing your face or anything, basically the steam of the warm water will loosen the tubes, and when they come off of your lashes, I will show you guys at the end, we'll do a removal at the end, but it comes off in completely like solid little floppy tubes, like little snakes coming off of your eyelashes, and you just wash them down the drain, but they never go back to a liquid and you will never get raccoon eyes. That is, in a nutshell, the essence of the reason that I go for a tubing mascara above anything else. There are other brands out there that do this, and some of them call them like film forming mascaras and things like that. There is a new one from Hard Candy that I do want to try soon, but there's one called Blink that I was completely unimpressed by. It's way too lightweight, but it was kind of the first of its kind. Glossier makes the Lash Slick that is very similar, but it's also extremely lightweight. It is for people who have a lot more patience than I do for actually building volume. They do exist, but this one really promises so many similar things to the Thrive, and they're similar in price. The Thrive is $24 and I think this is $29. We will talk about that, but also I'm not sure how much product you get comparison-wise. But Hourglass is always going to be, you know, a higher end kind of product line. Everything's going to be a little more expensive, and you know, it's up to you whether you think that like the quality is up to that. In my experience, it almost always is. So that is the Thrive, a beautiful lash extension situation, and I'll do some macros for you when it's all on or whatever, but I just got this one. It's a wetter formula. You can just feel as it's going on. Neither of them is like a dry formula. It doesn't feel like Lash Paradise from L'Oreal or something like that, or like Better Than Sex. They do tend to, like all mascaras tend to kind of dry out a little bit. But this one's just a little lighter weight and a little more flexible. This is not my first time wearing it. So applying about the same amount on each eye, sort of waiting for it to dry for a few seconds and then going in with another coat. My experience with tubing mascaras is that they don't build really well after they've, like the entire first coat has completely dried. They'll just kind of get clumpy, and I don't know, some people's look, it's not my look. So that is the vibe, one side to the other. Something about the Hourglass is giving me more shine. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I mean, I know that that's a nuanced thing with mascara, but you know, a shinier mascara is going to kind of reflect light, whereas a more matte mascara is going to absorb light a little bit more, and it just looks a little bit different in terms of impact. But they are very much going for the same thing. I think that the other thing is the brushes, they're really similar. I'll show you guys. But the flexibility of this one, oddly enough, I usually don't love a flexible brush, but the flexibility and just slightly, are they exactly the same? Maybe. I'm not sure. They might be the same standard issue brush, guys. They are almost indiscernible from one another, which kind of makes me feel like Hourglass could not have just accidentally stumbled on this idea or the name of the mascara. I mean, it's a little bit obvious. I don't know. But yeah, they are really, really similar. Something about the flexibility of this one though, if you can, I don't want to touch it. That's really flexible, whereas the Thrive is a stiffer brush. It's not completely inflexible, but it doesn't flex as much right when you touch your eye. And I feel like maybe that would be a tiny, tiny, tiny difference, but mostly it's pretty indistinguishable between the two as far as application is concerned. So let's talk about the claims. I have to tell you guys, if you're unfamiliar with my journey with the Thrive mascara, it was one of my first videos that like a lot of people watched because it showed up in the Google search results for reviews for the mascara, but it is one of the worst videos I've ever made. I didn't even apply the mascara. I think it was my first video of like launching my channel as like a makeup review channel in like the very, very beginning of January 2018. I had no idea what I was doing. I got so much criticism. People were like, you're not gonna even put it on. And I was like, I'm sorry. But we've come a long way, and that is why I also feel really obliged to give you guys as much detail as possible. The Unlocked Instant Extensions mascara from Hourglass is $29, and for that you get 0.35 ounces made in the USA, and you get 0.38 in the Thrive for $24. But you do have to pay shipping on Thrive. So, I mean, I have a 10% off coupon down below, but unless you are purchasing it with something that is going to meet the shipping threshold, I believe you still have to pay shipping on it. So let's talk first about Hourglass. The look of Lash okay. That is stigmatism. Is just not gonna quit. Okay, the look of lash extensions in an instant. This mascara is the ultimate formula for when more is more. More definition, more lift, and more length to transform lashes with impossibly real results. Using film forming technology, that is most of these brands' terminology for tubing mascara. It coats each lash in lightweight fibers that lock in place for high impact fanned out finish and smudge proof wear. So, I do know off the top of my head that Thrive is also a like fiber mascara, a microfiber mascara. It is not as much as like the MAC Fiber Lash, which I used to truly love, but it definitely has the same philosophy behind it. I'm trying not to throw shade here, but I mean, these are like staggeringly similar. I almost like want to go like, you know, side by side on the ingredients. Features and benefits. Look of lash extensions, instant payoff, instant length, lift and definition, film forming technology, smudge proof, molded brush targets every lash, removes easily with warm water, ophthalmologist tested, vegan and cruelty free. It is gluten free, free of mineral oil, parabens, phthalates, sulfates, synthetic fragrance, talc, and not tested on animals. They are a cruelty free brand. So let's talk about the Thrive claims here. I actually haven't visited this website in a while as far as like, you know, reading off about their mascara because I've been using it for so long. The key ingredients on Thrive are orchid stem cell complex, which stimulates and supports longer, healthier looking lashes over time. I did a video that actually has gotten a lot of attention where I did a side-by-side of like a natural lash serum versus just using castor oil for 5 months every single night. And there was almost no difference, but I think that that's also because I always use Thrive mascara, and so the Orchid Stem Cell Complex is like helping with the health of my lashes anyway. And so I don't think that I was gonna see like a huge difference unless something happened, but regardless, I do think that that ingredient specifically has like helped with the length and overall health of my eyelashes over time. Flake-free tubing technology. This is one of the first ones that I ever encountered with this technology. I've definitely tried ones that had claims around it, and they just didn't rise to those claims. This was the first one that I found where I was like, yes, like this is exactly what I expected it to do. Youth B5 Complex features a combination of vitamin B5 and sodium hyaluronate to moisturize and strengthen lashes. Also contains castor seed oil and shea butter. So there you go. Deeply conditions to support lash health and length. So let's talk about ingredients here, guys, because I do feel like they might be like kind of embarrassingly similar. Where are the ingredients, fam? You're not gonna tell me the ingredients? Maybe Sephora will tell me the ingredients, Hourglass? I don't like it. Okay, water, acrylates, the same polymer, denatured alcohol, glycerol stearate, glycerin, dimethicone, glycerol stearate, carnauba wax, stearic acid, shea butter, castor seed oil, butylene glycol, which is not in the, that's the first one that it departs from, is the butylene glycol. Japonica flower extract. I mean, we're past the 1% line at this point, and that's when you kind of get into like all the vitamins and stuff. You know, you're talking about like your Orchid Stem Cell Complex, and in the case of the Sephora one, you know, they've got Camellia japonica flower extract and things like that. And then you just get into your preservatives and your pigmentations. Guys, this is the first time that I'm comparing like right next to each other the ingredients lists, and I don't think either of these brands has ever been known to private label, you know, use a formula that is just off the shelf from another distributor and not, you know, have like original proprietary formulas. And so I honestly feel like Hourglass completely ripped off Thrive's formula. Like, that's kind of bonkers. I'm kind of offended. Like, just as someone who has loved this brand for so long, and this mascara helped launch my channel back 2.5 years ago. And then Hourglass, which is a brand that I've always thought of as, you know, creating very unique original things, not only ripping off their name, Instant Extensions versus Liquid Lash Extensions mascara, but also, I mean, the first 15 ingredients are exactly the same in the exact same order. Yeah, I don't know. Is that common? But it's kind of stupid, because if you're gonna do that, why charge $5 more for it for less product in the tube? I'm not gonna say it's a bad mascara. I'm just gonna say it's exactly the same as Thrive. And I don't think that it was unintentional. So I'm going to wear this for the rest of my day. I don't anticipate any noticeable difference between the two because the ingredients lists are almost identical. But at the end of my day, I will kind of show it to you guys side by side, and we will also remove them with warm water so that you guys, if you are completely unfamiliar with the idea of a tubing mascara, you can see what it looks like when it comes off, which I find super fascinating, almost like borderline magical. But also just so that you can see whether they're different from each other in that sense, and whether the technology works for both, which, I mean, you know, I'm not a biochemist, but the ingredients are the same. So yeah, I'm going to wear this for the rest of my day. I will see you guys in like 8 hours, and we will do the whole removal ordeal. And I'll give you my final thoughts. Hello guys, it is the end of my day, and I'm going to show you the dramatic results of this wear test now. So I just spent, I don't know, a little over an hour sitting outside at a very socially distanced cafe with my husband drinking mocktails. And it's very, very hot. It's in the upper 90s today, and I definitely had my fair share of like sweating and things like that happening, and neither of these are any worse for the wear, which just goes to show all the reasons that I articulated earlier why I love tubing mascaras. They are miraculous, they're amazing, they stay put. And actually the liner that's on my eyes right now, is also Thrive Eyeshadow. It's from the Thrive Cosmetics Perfect Eye Palette. And their stuff all pretty much has like formulations to be able to go kind of waterproof when you put them on, which is so good for hot weather. Makes me really happy. So anyway, I will give my final thoughts in a moment, but while this is warm, I wanted to show you guys what this looks like when you take it off. What was I gonna say? When it removes. So I will just, this is not a clean towel. This is what I use for my makeup, but this is not how I typically do it, to be honest. Usually I just do it in the shower because you'll be showering and you will, you'll just notice that things are kind of hanging off the ends of your lashes. Yeah, and see? They start to do that. They are definitely not wet enough yet, but that is what it looks like when it like comes off of your face basically. And it comes off in just little tubes. They're completely like dry. And like I said, I wouldn't have to like wipe or anything if I were just in the shower because you would just literally pinch them off. And you don't pull your eyelashes out or anything. It's a very soft thing when it actually softens with warm water, and it's happening with both formulas. So yeah, that was a quick, if not entirely perfect, demo of how tubing mascaras are supposed to work, and they both performed exactly the same. So let's talk about my final thoughts here. My final thoughts between the Thrive Causemetics Liquid Lash Extensions Mascara and the Hourglass Unlocked Instant Extensions Mascara is that they're virtually identical. They're both vegan, they're both cruelty-free, and it is entirely likely that there is a very specific set of ingredients that does this, that makes that technology happen where it comes off in the tubes. But I did check in on Blink and Glossier and the Hard Candy tubing mascara that came out recently, and it is not quite so identical. As far as the ingredient list is concerned, it is similar. They have similar ingredients because there are certain things that do this, but they're not in exactly the same order and exactly the same ingredients as if they were pulled from the exact same bottle. So I would say that the Thrive, it's $24. I have a 10% off coupon down below, and you get more product for your money, and it comes in brown. The packages look the same. I don't know why I wanted to show both of them to you. That's stupid. But yeah, Bryn is black and Crystal is brown, and I love that they put out a brown. I love wearing the brown. I think it's beautiful. And if you are in a place where you have been like, oh my gosh, why doesn't Thrive ship to me? Like you're in another country or something like that, and Hourglass does ship to you, this is a great dupe. But usually when we talk about a dupe, we're talking about something that's less expensive and is actually more expensive and like no other differences. It's not like cleaner ingredients or different performance or anything like that. Like they are virtually identical. I drew the tiniest little line between the flexibility of the brushes, but the brushes are identical. That's kind of why I feel like there's it's a little on the nose. You know what I mean? Like Hourglass, it was a little on the nose. You guys couldn't have mixed the brush up. Something, the name, it's just so on the nose. It feels almost intentional. So yeah. For those of you who are like new here and maybe just like interested in this mascara and didn't know that this one existed, this has existed for years, at least 2.5 years since I reviewed it. And so this is not a case of, it takes a really long time to put makeup together and like to, manufacture it and market it and everything. Like, who knows whether they actually knew whether that mascara already existed. They knew this mascara already existed. It's been around for a long, long time. So anyway, those are my thoughts on these. If you are in a place where Thrive doesn't ship, then this could be fantastic for you. But other than that, I don't know why you would spend $5 extra for less of the exact same product. Those are my thoughts. So hopefully you guys found that valuable. Hopefully, if you watched that first Thrive mascara video of mine, you found this more valuable than that. And if you did enjoy this, guys, do give it a thumbs up. If you want to keep hanging out with me on this channel, hit the button down below and subscribe. I would love it if you did. Thank you guys so much for watching and for hanging out with me today. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one.